A few weeks ago, I did a video on the BoxyCharm subscription box. This is BoxyCharm here. And within the BoxyCharm subscription box, there were a few items that I had mentioned I would like to do a tutorial on. One of those items are the Luxie brushes. These are the Luxie brushes that came in the subscription box. And along with that, it also included an eyeshadow palette here from Nightingale. And the palette is called Pretty Vulgar here. And inside the palette, these are the colors that were included. So I thought I would do an eyeshadow tutorial with you today using some of these shadows so that you can see how I get some of my looks. You can see I don't have any eyeshadow, any eye makeup on at this point in time. And also within the subscription box, it included Bang Beauty, and this was a gel eyeliner. And this is what it looks like in the packaging. So I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how I do my makeup. Everybody's going to have different techniques, but this is how I do it, and this is what works for me. So I start off with creating a nice base. I have hooded eyes, and sometimes I have some challenges with makeup staying on my eyes. So I start off with this MAC paint pot, and we'll just start off by getting everything primed here. You don't have to be super precise with the MAC paint pot. What it does is it creates a nice foundation for the eyeshadow to go over. It fills in any kind of wrinkles or places that the eyeshadow may not otherwise pick up. So this really helps allow it to adhere to your eye. Included in the subscription box were the Luxie eyeshadow brushes. I'm going to open these up. Most of the brushes that were included in this were more of detail type brushes. So you'll see here we have kind of a flat angled brush. So it's flat across the top, but it is cut at an angle. The next one we have is a little bit of a fluffier brush. Then we have a fluffy angled brush. And then finally we have a dome-shaped brush. So as we start going through the eyeshadow tutorial, I will be using some of these closer to the middle end of it. I always start off with kind of a blending brush to start my first color. So this is the blending brush that I use. It's by Jaclyn Hill, and it is JH30. I don't know if you can see that. The camera may not focus in on that. All right. So we're going to open up the palette and get started here. I always start with kind of my crease area and maybe just a little bit higher. And to do that, I'm going to build up the color a little bit. So I'm going to start with this top color called Pillow Fight. And then I'm going to switch brushes to a little bit of a smaller blending brush. This is also by Jaclyn Hill. JH33 is the number on this one. And I'm going to go to the next darker color called Hide and Seek. I always kind of tap my brush off to tap off any of the excess here. We're going to go right into the crease and just kind of blend that through. So you'll see the little bit of the lighter color there as it gets darker. And then I'm going to use Flip Out, which is this color right there at the end. It's called Flip Out. It's a darker brown color on the same brush that I was just using. Tap a little of that color off. And I'm going to grab a little bit more of the Flipped Out just to kind of build that color up, make it a little bit darker. All right, we don't want any harsh lines, so I'm going to go back to the fluffy brush that I started with and go back to the Hide and Seek color. That was the second color that we used. And I'm just going to go across the top of the colors just to kind of blend out any kind of harsh lines that might be there. So you can see how that blended that out. All right, we're going to jump into the Luxie brushes and I'll let you know how those go. So I'm going to use the angled fluffy brush and I'm going to grab some more of that flipped out color and I'm really going to get it into the crease here. Just want to darken up that color there in the crease. And then I'm going to come down to Swoop, which is this bottom dark color. And let's see, I am going to use the fluffy brush that we have. We'll take the color Swoop. We're going to put that right here on the outer corner of the lid. And sometimes you have to build this color up a little bit, or these colors. It's always better to go less and build the color up than it is to put a ton of color on and then try to blend it all out. So always just tap off your brush. You don't want to start off with too much color on your brush. You can always add more. These Luxie brushes are really, really nice. They're very soft and it appears that they're blending that color through really nicely. So there's where we're at. And then I'm going to grab this angled flat brush. I'm not sure that these have numbers. Mini Flat Angle, Luxie 111. That's the number of this one. And I'm going to go for a little bit more of a sparkle. So I'm going to grab this color here in the middle called Clutch. I'm going to put that on the inner corner of our eye. Brighten that color up. And you'll see we have a little bit of a harsh line right here, so we're going to need to blend that out. So what I'll do is take that domed brush that was in the packet. This is Luxie 141 Mini Round is the name of this one. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab some of the flipped out. That's that crease color that we used. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of that on that domed brush. And I'm going to work that in here to the center between the darkest color that we put on and the sparkle or the shimmer color that we put on, just to kind of blend things through so everything looks like it just transitions very nicely. So I've covered up a little bit too much of the sparkle, so I'm going to go back and grab that back on the Luxie 111 mini flat angled brush, and we'll just put a little bit more on. I've used all of the Luxie brushes, and I need to put on a lighter color for my highlight colors. Highlight colors just kind of help everything pop, kind of finish out the look. And so I'm going to go into my Jaclyn Hill, actually this is not, this is e.l.f. number 202. You can see it's kind of an angled, tapered brush. And we're going to go up here and we're going to grab this color called Nocturnal. Grab a little bit of that and just put it up here at the very top of the eye. Give it a nice little shimmer. Not too much. And then right here in the corner, just to kind of brighten the eye up a little bit. So that right there is just a real natural looking eye. You can go into something a little bit further if you want to kind of smoke out the bottom portion of your eye. I usually take the outer corner color, which was this color called Swoop, and I'll grab some of that on the Luxie 141 mini round, and I'm just going to put that right down here. And you can smoke out the eye as much as you are comfortable. Some people like it really smoked out, and others do not. So whatever you're comfortable with. And then we want to kind of soften that up a little bit. So I'm going to go back over to the Luxie 111 mini flat angled brush. And I'm going to grab some of that color flipped out. Actually, I'm going to grab Hide and Seek. That's this color right here. It's the second lightest color that we used. And I'm just going to put that and just kind of smooth out the color. And that is that for the eyeshadow. Now we're going to grab the, what was this called? Bang Beauty. And that's the gel eyeliner. And we'll try that on this eye here. So I'm going to go in and actually grab one of the Morphe Jaclyn Hill. It's the JH42 brush. It's a small brush, all tapered. It's kind of firm at the end. I want something that's going to give me a little bit of control. And I'm only putting this at the very end of the brush. Okay, this is kind of, the gel is not quite coming off very cleanly, so I'm not sure how I feel about this gel. It's coming off kind of in chunks. So we'll have to see how this turns out. Yeah, I don't see it doing much of anything. Not so much a fan of the Bang Beauty. I do like the Pretty Vulgar eyeshadow. I feel like that does a nice job. It's not super pigmented. It's more of an everyday kind of color, but definitely pretty and went on nicely. So I'm actually going to kind of finish out the look here just real quickly. What I use for my eyebrows is the MAC pencil. And this is deep, dark brunette is the color that I use. And all I do is I just kind of go in and follow the shape of my eyebrow. And then I just kind of fill in from there. Just to try to give it somewhat of a little bit of a deeper color. So you can see a big difference from this side of my face to this side of my face. So that's quite a big difference just by a little makeup. I'm just going to smooth this out a little bit. And then finally, I always like to put on a little bit of eyeliner. I think it just finishes out the look. The eyeliner I use is CoverGirl. This one is just a CoverGirl over-the-counter kind of, or drugstore kind of makeup. Not very expensive at all, but I like it because it goes on real smooth. You can do a real thin line, you can do a thicker line, but then you also have this other end that you can use to kind of smudge out the eyeliner. I am not a pro at makeup. I do what makes me feel good. I do whatever I feel like. I wear different makeup every single day, different styles, and this is just one of the ways that I will use my makeup. So again, it's all personal preference. This side with makeup, this side without makeup. And you can see what a difference it makes with just a little bit of makeup. It doesn't take much and it goes pretty far. So I'm going to finish out putting the mascara on and the other eye off camera. But overall, I like the shadow palette. This was the Nightingale Pretty Vulgar. And I like that shadow palette. I was not overwhelmed with the Bang Beauty. I'll have to play around with that a little bit more off camera. I just wasn't fully in love with that, but I love the Luxie brushes. They're very, very, very soft. They had a lot of control to them, and so I was pretty happy with those. So if you like this video, I hope you go below and subscribe. I will be doing more videos in the future of all kinds of different things. If you want to know about my videos, hit the bell and you'll be alerted anytime that there's a new video posted. So again, I thank you so very much for taking the time out to watch this video, and I'm going to finish out the other eye off camera. Thanks so much.